Hello everybody and welcome back to Day of the OUYA TV. I'm Tim, the crazy German, and this is our weekly recap of OUYA games. Here we go. In this episode we will have a look at the games Dropchord by Double Fine, Order and Chaos Online by Gameloft, Raiden Legacy by .musas, Cars and Guns 3D by Evil Indie Games, and Sonic CD by Sega. Before we get into the actual episode, I just want to say a word about the elite vouchers that every Kickstarter backer received. While it may not make everybody happy and some folks are still waiting on their OUYA, I think it's a great sign that us backers are indeed important to the folks over at OUYA. It's a step towards better customer support and, even more important, developer support. 70% of every voucher go directly to the developers, which is almost $600,000. Thank you OUYA for this sign of appreciation and respect for your developers. So now that you got your voucher redeemed, you probably want to know what to spend your money on. Dropchord by Double Fine could be bought for $2.99 and it would be a very good investment. One word for this game: brilliant. The concept was hard to understand at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's one of the best games we've seen on the OUYA. You use both sticks to move 2 points on a circle which, when connected, form a line. With that line you're supposed to cross points within the circle and keep the beat running. To be quite honest, it isn't even the gameplay itself that makes Dropchord so appealing. It's just the music that makes this game worth playing. You just want to hear more of the music and therefore you'll have to keep on crossing points. This game has only one weakness, and that is in the beginning of the game. It starts with a very confusing menu, which you first have to make appear by connecting the line. After that, there's no tutorial, which would be badly needed. The thing is, when you start, you only have 2 trial rounds to see if you like the game or not. When you're wasting your first credit trying to figure out what to do, it's really hard to judge whether you like the game or not with your last credit. I've read on Reddit that some folks deinstalled and then reinstalled the games a couple of times just to try out the game more often before making the purchase. Maybe the folks at Double Fine want to reconsider their strategy here and either introduce a tutorial or more credits. Apart from that, Dropchord is a game you won't regret buying. It's even the runner-up for Game of the Week and would have won if it wasn't for Order and Chaos Online, the fantastic copy of World of Warcraft. Everybody on Reddit went bananas when word got out that Order and Chaos was released on the OUYA. Rightfully so. Order and Chaos is actually a lot of fun. Once the OUYA servers are filled with more players, this is going to be even more fun. I don't think it's necessary to explain the concept of MMORPG, and therefore let's just talk about the game itself. Before giving more praise to this game, I have to make 2 statements. First, the installation requires another 1.3 gigabytes of download after the download from the OUYA store and therefore requires a lot of space. Even worse was that this download crashed 3 times on my OUYA, but I could always resume the download without starting anew. After that, the sign-up process for an Order and Chaos account on the OUYA was horrible. You have to maneuver through the sign-up with the touchpad, which almost drove me nuts. Do yourself a favor and sign up for Order and Chaos from your regular computer. Yet, after the download and sign-up was done, I've already had several hours of good old MMORPG fun. It is even more fun because the entire game is free except from in-app purchases, which I don't think are necessary to enjoy the game. Therefore, Order and Chaos is our Game of the Week. Next up is the nice retro game Raiden Legacy. It's exactly what the box promises. You get into your fighter jet and blast your way through several of levels. The only thing that's a little bit annoying is the fact that Raiden is a port from mobile without adjustments of the screen size. Basically, you're playing Raiden with the screen width of your mobile just blown up to a huge screen. Apart from that, I think Raiden will find its fans and it's a very solid addition to the OUYA store. Our next game, Cars and Guns 3D, was a surprise for me. Judging from the screenshots and thumbnail, I wasn't expecting much. What you can't see without playing is why those look so crappy. The premise of this game is, what if everything in this world was made out of paper? And therefore, everything in this game is made out of paper. Trees, trash, cars, and even women are made out of paper. That gives Cars and Guns a very unique approach to racing games. Cars tip over rather quickly and drive a bit differently from what you're used to. Furthermore, the creators of Cars and Guns have come up with a few funny game modes, such as ski jumping with a car. I would love to see if the racetracks had a little bit more decoration and more interesting obstacles. Though, all in all, Cars and Guns is a game that you should definitely check out. The last game for this week is Sonic CD. Do you remember how I was really disappointed by the other Sonic titles that Sega released on the OUYA? Well, Sonic CD is actually much better than its siblings. It has retro graphics, a brilliant intro that seems to come directly from one of the 90s Sonic cartoons, and is just that much more likable than the other Sonic titles. One thing that remains is the shitty controls. You still have to press down to engage into Sonic mode, which still breaks one or two excellent runs. However, Sonic CD is the best game to go back in time and play Sonic the way he was meant to be played. It's a pretty cool game, and for Sonic fans, a much better alternative than to run it on an emulator. That's it for this week, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel and visit our site at dayoftheouya.com.